Hello. Good morning. Good morning. आवाज येतोय? Good morning, student. My voice is audible.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So today we'll discuss the second unit, that is managerial economics. Introduction to economics. Economics is a study of human activity both at individual and national level. An activity involved in efforts aimed at earning money and spreading this message to satisfy our wants such as food, clothing, shelter, and others are called economic activities. So economics is a study of human activity both at the individual as well as the national levels. Okay. Any activity involved in efforts which is aimed at earning money and spending this money to satisfy our wants such as food, purchasing clothing, then shelter, अन्न वस्त्र निवार आपण ज्याला म्हणतो. So, and others are called economic activities. It was only during the 18th century that Adam Smith, the father of the economics, defined economics as a study of nature and uses of national wealth. See, so this is the he is the father of economics. Adam Smith is called the father of the economics, and he defined economics as the study of the nature and uses of the national wealth. Okay, so definition according to the Dr. Alfred Marshall, one of the greatest economists of the 19th century, he writes, economics is a study of man's actions in the ordinary business of life. Okay, whatever the man's actions are there, whatever the good action or bad action or inaction. Okay, so all that actions in the ordinary business of life, it inquires how he gets his incomes and how he uses it. Professor Leonel Robbins defined economics as the science. He defined economics as a science which studies human behavior as a relationship between ends and scarce means which have alternative uses. So according to the Robbins, he has defined economics as a science which studies the human behavior as a relationship between ends and scarce means which have the alternative uses. So the economics So whenever the economics terms is comes, there is also the microeconomics terms is also follow the economics. So microeconomics is the study of the individual consumer or a firm is called microeconomics. So individual consumer, suppose if you have to study how the economics of the individual consumer is there or any small firm is there, then that study of that individual consumer or the firm is called the microeconomics. So microeconomics, micro means 1 millionth. Microeconomics deals with the behavior and the problems of single individual and of micro organization. So there are the number of the small organizations are there. Means individual consumers is also called it as a small firm, and the economics of that small firm or the small consumer is called as the microeconomics. So we have to study how the individual person he does his action, how he earn money and how he spend the money. So that is the microeconomics, which deals with the behavior and the problems of single and of micro organizations. So it is concerned with the application of the concept such as the price theory, law of demand, and the theory of market structure and so on. So it is very this knowledge of the economics one should have, because it deals with the laws of demand and supply. So when you know the demand and supply, we can plan your economic accordingly. Okay, so it is concerned with the application of concepts such as a price theory, law of demands, and theory of the market structure and so on. So microeconomics, the study of aggregate or total level of the economic activity in a country is called as the macroeconomics. Oh, so first we have seen the microeconomics, now it is a macroeconomics. So study of the aggregate or total level of the economics activity in a country is called as the macroeconomics. It studies the flow of economics resources or factors of production. So these macroeconomics, it studies the flow of the economics resources or the factors of production such as land, then labor, then there is a capital, organization, and technology. So from the resource owner to the business firms, and then from business firm to the households. So this is the study, the flow of economics resources from the resource owner to the business firms and from the business firm to the households. It is concerned with the level of employment in the economy. Okay, it is also concerned with the level of employment in the economy. Means what type of the individual persons or the firms or organizations they have the level of employment in the economy. It discuss the aggregate consumption, aggregate investment, then price level and payment, theories of enjoyments, and so on. So this is related to the aggregate consumption. When the person does the action, he earns money and he spend the money, whatever the money he has earned. So in microeconomics, it discusses the aggregate consumption, how you consume the money, aggregate investment, how he investment, price levels and the payment, then theory of the employment and so on. So managerial economics. So managerial economics refers to the firm's decision. Any firms is there, first means any organization. So it refers to the firm decision making process. It could be an interpreted as economics of management or industrial economics or business economics. So the nature of managerial economics. So the close to microeconomics. So managerial economics is always close to the microeconomics. Managerial economics is concerned with finding the solution for different managerial problems of the particular firm, and thus it is more close to the microeconomics. So managerial economics, it is concerned with the finding the solution for different managerial problems of the particular firm, and therefore it is more close to the microeconomics, that is close to macroeconomics. So whatever the managerial economics study is there, which is a science, this is related to the study for finding the solution for different managerial problems. So it is close to the microeconomics. Second nature of the managerial economics is the it operates against the backdrops of microeconomics. The macroeconomics conditions of the economy are also seen as the limiting factor for the firms to operate. Okay, macroeconomics is the activity at the national levels of the firms. Okay, and microeconomics is the activity of the individual consumers or the small firms. So the macroeconomic condition of the economy are also seen as a limiting factor for the firm to operate. In other words, the managerial economics has to be aware of the limits set by the macroeconomics conditions such as the government industrial policy, inflation, and so on. So in other words, managerial economics, they are aware of the limits as set by the macroeconomics condition. So whenever the government policies are there, government inflation is there, and so on, these conditions they are made aware to the consumers or the macroeconomics conditions. So that is the micro managerial economics. So what is the conditions? What is the percent of inflation? What is the government industrial policy? These are all studied under the managerial economics. Next is the normative statements. A normative statements usually includes or implies the words ought or should. Okay, means they reflect the people's moral attitude and are expressions of what a team of people ought to do. Means what they would like to do. Such statements are based on value judgments and express views of what is good or bad or right or wrong. Means what is action, what is inaction, and what is not action. Okay, one problem with the normative statement is that they cannot to verify by looking at the facts. Means just by looking at the facts we cannot verify them because they mostly deal with the future. Disagreements about such statements are usually settled by voting on them. So whatever the actions are there, whether they are good, bad, right, or wrong, so that disagreements about such statements are usually settled by voting on them. Next nature of the managerial economics is the prescriptive actions. Prescription means the actions which we have to do, which we would like to do in the organization or individual as an individual customers. So prescriptive action is a goal oriented. It is a goal oriented. Whatever the prescriptive actions the individual customers or the firms performs, that should be your goal oriented. Such a problems and the objectives of the firm, it suggests that course of action from the available alternative for optimal solution. Means what is the course of action for the available alternative for the optimal solution? Because managerial economics always gives this directions for the optimal solutions. Okay, it also explains whether the concept can be applied in a given context or not. For instance, the fact that a variable cost or marginal cost can be used to judge the feasibility of an export order. This will be again clear when you study details about the variable cost, fixed cost, and demand supply curves are like that. Okay, so next is the nature of the managerial economics is the applied in nature. Models are built to reflect the real life complex business situations. Whatever the models are, they are built to reflect the real life complex business situations, and these models are of immense help to managers for decision making. The different areas where models are extensively used include inventory control. Inventory controls are there, then there is optimization is there, project management is there, where such ideas are used. Okay, so in managerial economics, we also employ case studies methods to conceptualize the problems, identify that alternative, and determine the best course of action. So that is the case in case of the managerial economics. What we have to also employ the case study methods. Whatever the case study, we have to study the different case study of the organization or the best practices, best case studies, and that are used in the managerial economics to conceptualize the problem, how to conceptualize the problem, how to identify the alternative uh, solution for that problem, and determine the best course of action to solve that problem. So next is the models are built, offers scope to evaluate each alternative. It offers scope to evaluate each alternative. That is the nature of managerial economics. The managerial economics provides an opportunity to evaluate each alternative in terms of its cost and revenues. So whatever the course of actions we are going to adopt for the firm, any organization, the managerial economics provides us or to the organization an opportunity to evaluate if the alternatives are there in terms of the cost and revenues. The managerial economist can decide which is the better alternative to maximize the profit for the firm. Okay, the number of alternatives may be there, but we have to choose for the optimization solution. So it can help you to decide which is the better alternative to maximize the profit of the profit for the firm. Okay, so next is the interdisciplinary. That is also the one of the nature of the managerial economics. Interdisciplinary means it is not like that it will work only in one discipline. No, the contents, tools, and techniques of managerial economics are drawn from different subjects such as economics, management, mathematics, then statistics, accountancy, psychology, organizational behavior, sociology, and etc. So the managerial economics is not related to only one discipline. Okay, it is related to the different disciplines. For example, it may be the economics, it may be the management, it may be the mathematics, statistics, accountancy, psychology, organizational behavior, sociology, etc. So that is the reason it is called as the interdisciplinary. Scope of managerial economics. Managerial economics refers to its area of study. Managerial economics provide the managements with a strategic planning tools that can be used to get clear perspective of the way the business world works and what can be done to maintain the profitability of an ever-changing environment. That is the managerial economics. So it's always provides management with a strategic planning tool. So managerial economics, it provides the strategic management tool that can be used to get the clear perspective of the way the business world works and what can be done to maintain the profitability in an over changing environment. Managerial economics is primarily concerned with the application of economic principles and therefore and theories to 5 types of resource decisions made by all types of business organization. So the managerial economics is primarily concerned with the application of economic principles and theories. So for that we should have the knowledge about the economics principles and theories, and these are to 5 types of resource decisions made by all types of business organization. First, the selection of products or service to be produced. Okay, we have to select the product or the service to be produced. That is the primarily concern of the managerial economics with the application of economics. So this is the application, product service to be provided to the consumers. Second, the choice of production methods and resource combinations. The choice of production methods means when you product something in the organization, that should be the efficient and optimization solution should be there, so that the cost will be, production cost will be less, and the resource which is required for maybe the less in number. Okay, so we have to choose such a production methods and the resource combination so that we can go for the more production and increasing the efficiency of the organization. Third is the determination of the best price and the quantity combination. Next, scope for the managerial economics is means the determination of the best price and the quantity combination. We have to go for the best price for any activity or any procurement is there for the organization or not, and the resource combination. So product best price and quantity combinations. Third is the promotional strategy and activities. Okay, for any organization, managerial economics, which is also give the primarily concerns for the promotional strategy and activities. The selection of the location from which to produce and sell goods or service to consume. That is a promotional strategy and activities. Once the production is over, next that is also considered, that is a selection of the site location where we are going to produce, and once it is produced, where we are going to sell that goods and service to the consumer. The scope of managerial economics covers 2 areas of decision making, that is a operational or internal uses, and or second is environmental or external uses. Okay, so operational or internal issues, environmental or external issues. So these are the 2 areas of decision making. So we'll discuss the operational issues or internal issues. Operational issues refer to those which are within the business organization, because these are the internal issues and these are within the business organization and they are under the control of management. Means if suppose environmental or external issues are there, for example government policies are there, okay, that are not they are not under the control of the management of the organization. Okay, they are the external issues, and therefore if these operational issues, they are the internal issues which are within the business organization and they are under the control of the management, and those are, for example, theory of demand and demand forecasting. Okay, next is the pricing and competitive strategy. Third is the production cost analysis. Next is the resource allocation. Next is the profit analysis. Next is the capital or investment analysis, and the next is the strategic planning. So demand analysis and forecasting. What do you mean by demand analysis and forecasting? Demand analysis also highlights 4 factors which influence the demand for the product. Okay, so demand analysis means for what product the demand is there in the market. So which influence the demand for the product. This helps to manipulate demand. Okay. Once you highlight for factors which influence the demand for the product, this helps to manipulate the demand. Thus, demand analysis studies not only the price elasticity but also income elasticity, cross elasticity, as well as the influence of advertising expenditure with the advent of computers. So this is all the demand analysis study is all about. Okay. So the demand forecasting has become an increasingly important function of the managerial economics. See, so demand analysis and demand forecasting. So demand forecasting has become an increasingly important function of managerial economics. The firm can survive only if it is able to demand for its product at the right time. Okay, means any firm, for example, it is a mobile manufacturing firm, and that firm can survive only if it is possible to demand for its products at the right time. So which are the products required for the mobile manufacturing? So there are the different spare parts are required for mobile manufacture. So whenever the demand is there in the market for the purchase of the mobile phone, that mobile phone should be available in the market, and the firm which are producing the mobile phones, they can keep the demand at the demand forecasting, and a firm can survive. At the same time, they have to sell their mobile phones to the market, but they have to also produce more number of the mobile phones. For that, they also require the spare part, and the firm can survive only if it is able to demand for its product at the right time within the right quantity. Understanding the basic concept of the demand is essential for demand forecasting. So it is very necessary to understand the basic concept of the demand for the demand forecasting. Pricing and competitive strategy. So pricing decisions have been always with the preview of the managerial economics. So whatever the price decisions we take about the sale of any products or the purchase of the spare parts for the organization or the firm, that are always with the preview of the managerial economics. The managerial economics plays very important role in this regards. The price theory helps to explain how the prices are determined under the different types of market conditions. Means once you manufacture the products, and for when it is ready for sale in the markets, we have to decide the price for that, for how much price we can sell that product, so that we can recover all your cost incurred for the manufacturing of that equipment. So price theory helps to explain how prices are determined under the different types of market conditions. Okay, then competition analysis includes the anticipation of the response of competitions, the firm's pricing, advertising and marketing strategies, product line pricing and price forecasting occupy an important place here. Okay, so the competition analysis is generally done by the firm. Means what is the competition, how much competition is there in the market for our product. Okay, so that is to be done by the firms, so that firm pricing, then advertising, marketing strategy, like that. Production and cost analysis. Production analysis is in physical terms, while the cost analysis is in the monetary terms. Okay, the production analysis means we produce something, for example it is mobile, so this, it is in the physical terms, while the cost analysis is in the monetary terms. Cost concepts and classifications, cost output relationship, economics and diseconomics of scale and production functions are functions of the point consisting cost and production analysis. So this is very important, production and cost analysis in case of the managerial economics. Next is the resource allocation. The managerial economics is a traditional economics theory that is concerned with the problem of optimum allocation of scarce resources. Means resources are not abundantly available. The scarce resources are there, and we have to allocate that scarce resources for the optimum allocation of the scarce resources. So this managerial economics, we can say it is a traditional economics theory, and it is concerned with the problem of optimum allocation of the scarce resources. Managerial economics is applied to the problem of determining the level of output. Okay, means what is the level of the output and which maximizes profit. So that is the deal by the managerial economics, which is applied to the problem of determining the level of the output and which maximize the profit. In this respect, linear programming techniques has been used to solve optimization problems. Optimization problems is used by the engineers since the many years. Okay, because optimization techniques always gives you the optimum. Suppose we have to bring the petrol from the urban countries, then when you use the optimization problems, we can find the shortest possible distance between the place where we have to procure the diesel and our place. Okay, so that is where to deal with the by using the best optimization techniques. So in fact, so that we can find the shortest possible distance. In fact, the line programming is one of the most practical and powerful managerial decisions making tools currently available. So these tools are currently available, and these tools we can use for to solve the optimization problems. Profit analysis. The profit making is the major goal of firms. Any organization they work for the profit. There are several constraints here on an account of the competition from other products, changing input price and changing business environment. Hence, in spite of careful planning, there is always certain risks involved. Okay, so the managerial economics deals with the techniques of averting of minimizing the risks. Okay, so how to there are the risks are there in the business, but it gives the chance to minimize the risks if the managerial economics you are using. The profit theory guides in the measurement and the management of profit in calculating the pure return on capital besides future profit planning. So profit theory guides in the measurement and management of profit in calculating the pure return on capital beside the future profit planning. So this is the managerial economics, which is deals for giving the more profit for the organization. Capital or investment analysis. Capital is the foundation of business. Okay, capital of the firm, money of that firm's, other capital instruments of that forms resourceful persons in the that firm. So lack of capital may result in a small size of operations. Okay, lack of capital, it may be the machinery, it may be the uh, resourceful persons, that is also considered as the capital of the firms. If they are small in the organization, then there is a small size of the operations are there in the organization. Availability of the capital from various sources like equity capital, institutional finances, etc., may help to undertake large scale operations. So if the availability of the capital is there, if your institutional finance is strong, then it will help us to undertake large scale operations. Whenever the large scale operations are undertaken, it will give the more production for the organization. Hence, efficient allocation and management of capital is one of the most important tasks of the managers. So there should be the efficient allocation and management of the capital, because without the capital, the operations cannot be happen in the organization. So there should be the efficient allocation of the capital, whether it is a money in terms of the resources available in the firms or a organization. So the major issues related to capital analysis are the choice of investment project. The choice we have done for the investment project. Next is the evaluation of the efficiency of capital. Evaluation of efficiency of the capital. Next factor issues is the most efficient allocation of capital. Strategic planning. Strategic planning provides a long-term goals, objectives, and select the strategies to achieve the same. So whenever planning, we know that the planning is an activity for the future which is uncertain and unpredictable. But the strategic planning is there. It provides the long-term goals, objectives, and select the strategies to achieve the same. So every organization they have their goals and objectives, and all the employees or the workers they work in the organization for the acquire of the goals and objectives of the organization. The perspective of strategic planning is global. Okay. So the strategic planning has given rise to new area of study called the corporate economics. Okay. So I think this much is sufficient today. The environmental or external issues we will discuss in the next lecture. Meanwhile, you take the attendance and send me the attendance of today's lecture. Okay. Thank you very much. So 18 students are present. Anybody is there who can take the screenshot of this attendance? Okay. And send me the attendance. Jayesh Bari is there. He can take the screenshot of the attendance. Or anybody take the attendance and send me my WhatsApp number. Thank you very much.